Once in a generation storm. Oh my gosh, y'all. It's actually raining right now. We're going to talk all about it, tell you guys what's going on. Stacy's got some other information for you guys. Welcome back to the channel. We are in the RV and we're going to tell you guys what is going on. Maybe you'll believe it.
I don't think. Do we have
Maybe
to
you
do
won't.
something else?
There's your notification.
Oh, there it is. Notification. You got yours. Did I get mine? I did too.
Let's turn my volume down here. Get our stuff in order here. Boom, bada boom.
Hello, friends.
Man, we hope you guys are faring well with this weather. It's been crazy. Hello. All right, awkward silence. Stacy can't say hi to anybody.
I said hi to everyone.
Can't
I'm
keep
looking.
it going a little bit. Help me out a little bit.
I try.
No, trying's dying.
Yep. There's Mike and Sandra's from Wisconsin and Kim's from Ohio.
All right, everybody, make sure you hit that thumbs up because we're running late tonight. So everyone's probably abandoning us. But man, it's hard to pull these things off, especially when we're traveling. But we will not leave you hanging. And we want to talk about this weather because they're calling it a once in a generation set of storms, tornadoes, flooding. We're going to give you guys some first-hand knowledge that we have from our travels, what we saw while we were traveling, which is something to talk about. And then we're also going to talk about some things that might be making you sick in the middle towards the end of this live stream. This is our Monday night live stream every Monday night, 7 p.m. or maybe 7:15 Central Standard Time. We hook up with you guys. We talk about kind of what's going on, get some game plans together, and share some of our experiences. And sometimes this might be like an hour-long little thing where we're hanging out like neighbors and talking like neighbors talk, okay? And we do our best to skirt around the YouTube censorship and give you guys the real meal deal.
And Katrina is her first time catching a live. So
wow,
welcome,
look at Katrina go. She's out there making the efforts. All right. So we're doing it. And I think it's working.
And we'll say hello to Debbie.
And if you guys are new,
hi, Debbie.
If you guys are new around here, Stacy and I live off-grid on 11 acres in a log cabin that we built ourselves with no experience. We grow 90% of our own food. We poop in buckets, live 100% off rainwater, and we share all that stuff. And lately we've been talking about all the corruption and all the stuff that's going on that's actually shortening your lifespan. And sometimes we get in this RV and we go out and we meet you guys. We're going to have a meetup on the East Coast here in Hilton Head Island, somewhere around there. So if you're in the university or if you're on the email list, you'll get a heads up, and we're going to try to meet up on Friday, maybe Saturday. Friday's probably the best. Saturday's going to be really busy.
Yeah, we can't do it Saturday.
So probably Friday.
Because we're leaving.
And then we could always stay for that though. But Friday is probably when we're going to meet up. We'll have information coming out via email. So if you are interested about that, make sure you're on the email list. Go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com and fill out the box so you can be in the know. All right? Oh my goodness, man, we have stories to tell. So let's see. We left 3 days ago from St. Louis. We drove all the way to Hilton Head, South Carolina. Okay? And it literally rained from St. Louis all the way till outside, on the other side, the east side of Atlanta, Georgia, into South Carolina. Okay? And actually, it's raining right now, actually.
3 days.
Okay?
Yeah. And the whole time, and it wasn't just like rain, like pitter patter.
No.
It was like torrential downpour rain.
And we're talking about on 64 coming east, we're talking about water all the way up to the highway in Kentucky, the Ohio River busting out of the banks. Like I said, they're calling this a once in a generation storm. But we have to bring to your attention that everyone has been documenting the chemtrails in the sky. Hopefully I don't get this video banned, because this is like talking about COVID in 2019.
We should do this.
When they talk about COVID in 2019, they were booting you off your channel and shutting your mouth. That's what they're doing with this stuff, the chemtrail spraying. And this is real live stuff. 32 states have already brought legislation to ban this stuff. Aerosol injections, stratospheric aerosol injections, weather modification injection, whatever you want to call this stuff, spraying chemicals in our sky is going to be the death of us. Okay? And we are going to talk to you guys about this weather that we saw all the way down here, the hardcore winds. Usually when we go through Atlanta, it's the worst part of the whole trip.
Yes.
Okay? Literally, this was the best part of the whole trip. Because in Atlanta was the only little spot by downtown Atlanta that it wasn't raining on our whole trip.
It was like spitting just a little bit, but then even the traffic was kind of moving.
And it was okay traffic.
But then when we got through it,
so we rolled into Tennessee, and you could see the whole front was coming into downtown Tennessee.
Nashville.
Nashville. The sky was black right here, and then they had the underlaying clouds with the chemtrail sprays, right? And they were booking. Stacy was like, whoa.
They was like going fast. I couldn't believe it. It was faster than a car.
Like 5 times faster than the upper layer.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing.
Squall line. Right?
We were like right here when it was hitting. You could just see it. I'm like, I'm waiting for a tornado to come down.
And literally, I mean, it was almost like that. Nashville, it hit right when we pulled into there. It hit the Nashville area, and it buzzed it up bad. The rain was coming out so hard you could not even see. Y'all, we came around this little turn in Nashville, and all the cars just stopped. And I'm like trying to look up there with the windshield wipers flippity flapping, and I'm looking hard up there up in the front. I'm trying to see, man, like what's going on? Is there a stalled car? Is there an accident? What's going on? So all of a sudden the cars start all doing a hard left and onto the shoulder like this, right? And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm looking really hard, and there's the largest light post that they put out on the highways.
Yeah, those big, huge ones.
The biggest ones you've seen, right? It had blowed over, bam, and fell on the highway.
Right in front of us.
Thank the Most High, man, that no cars were hit. We can't believe it. Because the traffic was pretty thick, y'all. And so there's this big light post laying in the highway covering like 4 or 5 lanes of traffic. People are trying to skirt around the side of it. The rain's coming down. These 2 dudes jump out. I was just about to help them.
They pulled over to the side of the road.
These 2 dudes pull over on the side over here. They run all the way out here to the light. They pick it up and they drop it because it's like pretty heavy, right? It's like one of the big light posts. And they drop it. And I was like, oh, I don't know if they're going to get it. I'm thinking, am I going to have to jump out there and this rain's picking up? And they grabbed it one more time and picked it up and were like, rah! And they pulled it out of the way.
I think their adrenaline was working pretty good.
Holy smoke. So then the traffic started going there, but it literally rained from St. Louis all the way to South Carolina border, okay? Tornadoes busting loose left and right. Lots of reports of tornadoes.
Hail.
What do they call them? Wedge tornadoes. You know, they're coming up with terminology you've never even heard before. So holy smokes, was that pretty interesting. Made for a very interesting drive. A lot of accidents, so obviously. A lot of cars going off the road.
Yeah, so hydroplaning, be careful. Don't go fast in the rain.
Yeah, Stacy was worried about the hydroplaning. But y'all, this chemically induced storms that we're having are not normal. Any of the storms that you guys are seeing are not normal. These are induced by the NEXRAD radar systems, okay, and the chemical spraying. You have 5G in the air too, which is, you know, go look this stuff up, as military grade, weaponized grade frequencies. You can look this stuff up. All right, so we have all this stuff going on in our atmosphere, and you wonder why you're not feeling well. Stacy's actually going to talk about why you're not feeling well too. Could be one reason.
Well, that's a little, yeah.
Yeah, it could be one reason. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit.
Well, Katrina says that she drank her new shrub that she made for the first time and can't believe I have never had these in my life. It's amazing.
Can't believe it either.
So yes, you go ahead and drain it. Get the fruit out, and then it'll be shelf stable. So just make sure you strain everything out of it, and it'll be fine.
A lot of people lost power. Hopefully you guys got the off-grid with Doug and Stacy candles that we make out of 100% beeswax. With well, I got one right here. I'm actually doubling it as a phone stand here. Did you hit your thumbs up? Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up.
Oh. I didn't do it.
We only have 700 thumbs up.
Oh, no.
Yep, Stacy's going to hit hers right now.
I did it. Let's see you do it. I'm watching you.
All right, let's read some of these comments and check out some of the weather in your neighborhood. What's up, Michigan? Received 60 pounds of organic oats and oat bran today. Every week we have chemtrails. When is it going to make it stop? They're not going to. There's some chatter right now about Bobby Jr., you know, getting together a task force and going after these pilots and all. Y'all, I'm so sick of these empty promises and all this stuff, man. I want to see handcuffs.
We want to see action.
I want to see paddy wagons. Yeah, now all of a sudden the apples buds start coming out, and now all of a sudden we got frost and freeze warnings. Do you guys see a pattern how they do this? They warm it up, they've drowned it out, then they blow it with the wind and then dry it out, and then they slap in the cold on it right at the end.
Yeah, Kelly says, Kelly Carter, I went to high school with Kelly Carter. Are you the Kelly Carter that I went to high school with? So Kelly says, we are allowed 1 day of sun, then multiple days of rain and cloud cover over and over. It is crazy. It is. You can actually determine it. You can see all the spraying, then you'll have crazy weather, then you'll get one nice day, and then it starts up again.
Steve Canyon says in Queensland, Australia, there's been a flood from the rain, right, that's over excessive, and 150,000 cattle are dead. I haven't verified this story or not. But yeah, y'all, they are extra quenching the atmosphere with this weather. I have the fellow talking about it. Maybe I'll do a video about it this week while we're here. I'm going to pop out some videos for you guys. But he's literally trying to pitch this idea about using they call it the atmospheric river to produce rain for people that aren't having rain. So they openly admit they're spraying the skies, and for whatever reason, it is not the natural order and should be halted immediately. Here it comes again. And y'all, the awareness on the chemtrails is getting larger and larger. The more we talk about this publicly,
yell it from the rooftop.
The more people are getting aware and looking up and saying, wow, you know, this really or man, I do feel weird after they do that, or wow, what is going on, or man, my plants aren't growing. And people are starting to ask questions. 32 states are making laws to ban it. Florida just passed theirs. Tennessee passed theirs.
Yep. And Sean says that the dressing, the apple cider vinegar and the extra virgin olive oil, maple syrup is awesome. Been eating 2 salads every day. My son said I'm losing weight. See, you know what? And that we can kind of get into that for a lot of us too. You got to look at what you're putting in. So like salad dressings, like you buy in the store, they have rancid oils. They may have different chemicals, stabilizers, colorants. I mean, all this stuff. And it's harder for your body to get through it. So that's why processed foods aren't good, because they're putting so many things in them. Your body doesn't know how to react, so that it takes it harder to process. It's harder on your liver. It's harder on your kidneys. So then your body doesn't work very well. I mean, think of yourself like being, you know, a nice Jaguar or Mercedes or a BMW, you know. You got to put good gas in it so it'll work, you know, properly. So when we're eating these real foods that the body recognizes, it's easier to filter out. Like she said, she's lost weight. Things like this can happen. So if you can just get rid of those processed foods, it is huge. And then if you're feeling better, you'll be able to do more and things like that. But should I just transition to what I wanted to talk about today?
Knock yourself out.
Okay. I'm just going to say one thing. Okay. I go places. If we go, I like to watch people and look at things. And then I see all these moms giving their little kids juice. Like fruit juice, you know, like in the.
I didn't know we were going here, but all right.
This is just one little thing that hurts me, and I'm just going to bring it up because if maybe it's you and you don't realize it. So, like the apple juices in the little plastic containers or whatever, you know, you got your grape juice, all those kind of juices. Those juices are just like soda. I mean, it's just loaded in sugar. It's been pasteurized, so it's just kind of destroyed any nutritional value, because like when you juice something, like if you're making a smoothie or something and you blend it up, you're supposed to drink it then because it's going to keep its nutrition, but the longer it hangs out, it's going to lose a lot. So, you know, if fruit juice is not good for the liver at all. I mean, it's like one of the leading causes for kids who drink a lot of fruit juice, and you're drinking it. The risk of insulin resistance and fatty liver is huge. So I just am making a little FYI. If you're drinking juice, don't do it. Make it yourself. You can, you know, get your own oranges or your pineapple or whatever, and make your own fruit juice or make some fruit smoothies. But don't do that, because I see that and it just like, oh, don't do that. Okay. So what I want to talk about is just, you know, doing these little things. Like Sean was talking about, she changed and started making homemade dressings for a salad. The one thing that is just really getting to me, and I'm trying hard. You're trying little by little to try to change this in what we're doing.
Is 100% grape juice okay?
Well, see, that's the thing. If you go into the store and it says, 100% grape juice from Ocean Spray or whatever, those in the containers like that, they're going to give you the juice, but just understand that juice has been sitting there, so it's just basically like sugar water. The best way, if you want to get nutrition, you need to juice it yourself and juice it that way. And I would say, honestly, the easiest way to do it is give your kids a smoothie or make yourself a smoothie fresh. Freeze some berries that you have, that you grow or get at the farmer's market. Or you can get organic berries at the store and make some smoothies. You need it fresh. You're going to get nutrition. If you're drinking juice from the store, it's already been sitting there, and it's just like I say, sugar water. You're not really getting much from it. So I would not do it. Now, there are those juices that are maybe a little bit better that you get that are not from concentrate. They come in the little glass bottles. And a lot of people I know might do the cranberry juice if they're, for their, urinary tract infections and things like that. I mean, something like that might be good for that. But everyday drinking juice, I wouldn't recommend anything like that, especially with the little kids. You're just basically giving them soda. You're just as fine. It's the same thing pretty much. So make it fresh, get a juicer, just
don't be lazy.
Yeah.
Quit co-opting out your life.
That's my little public service announcement. I was just looking at some people today and I saw that, so I thought I'd bring it up. So we want our people to be healthy. We want everyone to thrive. We want to thrive. And you'll notice you'll thrive better if you do that. You'll be going to the bathroom better. You'll have more energy. You won't crash. You might all of a sudden feel good, and then you do something like that and you're like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm yawning. So just look at what you're putting in your body. Okay, here's my other thing I want to talk about is I saw this thing today and I thought it was very interesting. We'll go over, and like Doug and I are starting to change a lot more about what we're doing in this area that I'm going to talk about. But I saw it says polyester is the new birth control. So I wanted to go over some studies with you.
Your skin is the largest organ on your body, y'all. Everything that comes into contact with your skin is going to get into your bloodstream. That's why they spray you. That's why they jab you. That's why they're doing all this stuff to you, right? They want it into your body, into your bloodstream. That's why the plastics are out there. Everything is out there is designed to mess you up. That's called population control, and that is the goal. So when your body heats up and your pores open up, you start sucking in all the stuff that's around your body, right? Which is like polyester is like chemicals. It's like, she's going to talk about it more, but just realize that your whole skin and everything, we take it for granted, I guess. We don't really think about it. But the showers that you take in that fluoridated, chlorinated, yucky water, tap water, is a huge problem for your health. The clothes you're wearing could be a huge problem for your health. Everything that comes into contact with your skin and your nose and your mouth, as far as breathing and stuff, that could be a problem for you.
So the big thing here, and it's kind of funny, you get wiser when you get older. I'm going through, and I just remember growing up, and you just know, as we have gotten older and everyone's getting older, convenience is killing us.
Yes.
It is such the truth. I just remember like growing up with my mom and dad. I'm an only child, and my mom and dad weren't able to have kids. And then all of a sudden I popped out when my mom was 40. So I had older parents. So my parents always would wear wool, linen, and they would always talk about it, 100% cotton. I mean, way back then. And I remember, in the 70s and the 80s when all that polyester stuff was coming out, and I'm thinking, oh, I want all this kind of stuff. They were still wanting all that stuff because they were brought up in a time, when you had the 100% leather shoes, and they were sticklers for all that. So I just remember over the years how everyone was going into this more convenient stuff that doesn't wrinkle, all that, and then I'm looking back, they were really adamant about that, and they would keep their shoes, 100% leather shoes. They'd have their wool skirts. that they had kept for 40, 50 years that they were still wearing, you know, wool blazers and all this, and they would
The
wear
stuff
all
lasts
this,
too.
and it does last. I mean, it's crazy. So I wanted to read you the study. I found this on Instagram on Ava Abrams' site, and I want to read it to you because it's pretty cool. It's very interesting. It says in a study, researchers dressed up male dogs in polyester pants. Okay, so the result was their sperm count tanked, their hormones crashed, and some even had testicular shrinkage. Yes, shrinkage. Okay.
Only when it's cold.
Dr. Ahmed Shafiq had 24 male dogs divided into two groups. One group wore cotton underpants, while the other wore polyester underpants. And the garments were designed to fit loosely around the scrotal area and were worn continuously for 24 months. So this is a longer term study, so which is nice. To, you know, then you can kind of get a little bit more from it. The dogs wearing polyester underpants experience a significant decrease in sperm count and motility, along with an increase in abnormal sperm forms and degenerative changes in testicular tissue. It took 11 months for the dog's semen quality to return to normal after removing the polyester garments. Okay? The dog study showed that polyester builds up a low-level electrostatic field around the reproductive organs. This static disrupts sperm production in the males, and it doesn't take a PhD to guess how that might affect ovulation, egg health, or uterine balance in women. A second study found that female dogs wearing polyester clothing had reduced progesterone levels and couldn't get pregnant. As with the male dogs, once the polyester was removed, their hormones and fertility normalized, proving that the fabric directly interfered with reproductive health. Now, I love this. Think about your Lululemons, your yoga pants, your buttery soft leggings. Think about all this microfiber stuff, everything that feels so good. Think about all that.
Stretchy pants all the girls wear.
Synthetic, tight plastic sitting directly on your most hormonally sensitive real estate all day, every day. It's cute and comfy until your endocrine system taps out.
Man.
Okay, now, it says previously, the CEH warned consumers in October that sports bras from Athleta, Pink, Asics, North Face, Brooks, All in Motion, Nike, Fila that were tested for BPA over a 6-month period showed the clothing could expose wearers up to 22 times the safe limits of the BPA based on standards. So,
and rayon's not good either, right? Like rayon's a chemical that comes out of the ground that in the Midwest they warn you about. So I wouldn't be wearing rayon either. It's 100% cotton, linen, 100%.
Cotton, linen, wool,
right.
Cashmere, silk. But honestly, just I say go to resale shops. There's a lot of stores that you can get a lot of this, if you want linen clothing or, organic cotton. You can find a lot of it.
Oh, that's nice rayon. Yeah. All right, you got me. But rayon, I don't think rayon, what is rayon? Rayon. I know it's not good for you, but I'll see what's up.
But think of these little things, like a lot of the girls that wearing the thongs and the tight underwear made out of the polyester. That's all in your private area. The guys,
semi-synthetic fiber made from natural resources of regenerated cellulose, which is wood
pulp.
and the same molecular starters and cellulose. Many types of gardens.
You'll see rayon sometimes mixed in with some like some cottony, or you'll see that sometimes in things. That's going to be a little bit better than some of this other stuff. But I want you to think about, the clothes.
It's still made in a lab. I mean, French scientists and industrialized hairs invented the first artificial textile fiber. They call it artificial silk.
But just look at what you're putting, especially in your private areas, like these things that get rid of the smell and wick the moisture, all that stuff in the underwear. Like I remember, like a long time ago, Doug, he always wore like the cotton underwear, and then you couldn't hardly find it. And those are, think about all that and look what's going on with all our people, all the hormonal issues going on, all the thyroid issues going on. you know, a lot of this stuff's linked to cancers. It's linked to like all these different things. So these things are simple things that we can change. You can find cotton underwear. You can find a lot of this stuff, or don't wear any underwear or bras.
And then back to the storms, we're going to be bouncing between the two, right? Health and nutrition and the weather. You should keep your eyes on the skies.
Because some people like what I talk about, some things like what he talks about.
And some people still don't even believe either one of these things. So we're just trying to bring this to your attention. We don't tell you what to think, but we do give you things to think about, right? And so with this weather manipulation, this is like the perfect like silent weapon, because, you know, this looks so natural and most people poo-poo it. And so this is why it's a pretty good little setup, okay? Here's a gal who actually worked in the business. She worked for the military, and she actually was on some programs, and she started understanding like, wow, this is not right. Like, we shouldn't be doing this. And she blew the whistle and was mocked and ridiculed, because you know how they do. I'm going to share this with you guys now. Maybe some of you have seen it, maybe not.
U.S. Air Force for 9 years.
She was in the U.S. Air Force for 9 years.
You came out and blew the whistle on geoengineering, things that you witnessed were going on. Can you give us the real nutshell?
Absolutely. Basically, I had heard of what many people know as the term chemtrails. And I worked in a job called bioenvironmental engineering, and I thought that was insane. And why would we do something like that? Modify the weather by using hazardous materials in our atmosphere? So, and actually the process of trying to debunk it or disprove it, I realized it was actually coming right out of my office, as I was one of the people that was approving the chemicals. And it really shook the core of my oath. And I did a lot of sampling, a lot of investigation, and I blew the whistle and I got out. And I've now used my credentials, my oath, and my powers for good to help people understand it's very real. It's now openly admitted. There are multiple forms of weather modification. I specifically found the one of stratospheric aerosol injection. And collectively around the globe, we have to understand that it is now being admitted because they're saying it's combating climate change. Well, the climate change we need to be worried about is man-made climate engineering, also known as geoengineering.
And when you say you had chemicals being pumped into the air, what kind of chemicals are they putting out that rain down on humanity, basically?
Nanoparticulate metals, like you had different sulfates and barium and strontium. I know it's probably changed over time. I know they use silver iodide for certain things, but these are the odd part of it was the quantities that I saw them coming in, the form that they were coming in, and it's the same type of materials that I was trying to engineer out of the workplace to substitute with safer materials. And when you notice that what's called a safety data sheet, the information about a chemical of what personal protective equipment to wear, how do you dispose of it, how do you pack it to ship it. When key information is missing, I ask questions, and my questions led to demonization, and I knew I found something I shouldn't have.
That's insane. So these metals are basically toxic for the humans, I would presume, or?
Yes, because it also has aluminum, and a lot of people will tell you, well, these things aren't horrible in small quantities. It's not small quantities, because when you are putting things above us, the dissipation rates are dependent on weather and climate, but it's getting into the food, it's getting into the soil. And around the world, wastewater treatment plants, when it comes to pharmaceuticals, or these toxicants is what they're called, they are not able to filter them out. So if you're growing organic food, you know, are we going to go back to the plexiglass barriers on our plants? I mean, it's horrible. That's why you can ban it anywhere. We've had states in the United States ban it, and that is great to get the ball rolling. But people really need to wake up to it, irrespective of any political party. It's not okay. And you're seeing a huge increase in neurodegenerative issues like Alzheimer's. It's really difficult for people with respiratory issues and asthma. And people are wondering why they have allergies 24/7, 365.
Kristen Meg.
And then also, like, why are you sick for such a long time? Like, you get these respiratory somethings, or you're not feeling well, or you're a little off, and it doesn't go on for 3 days or maybe a week or two. It goes on for like 3 weeks and 4 weeks and 5 weeks.
2 months.
Yeah, Stacy's been fighting some stuff. It's been crazy. Yeah, she's good now, but it's been a wild ride with her on this stuff.
Well,
and that was right after we were exposed to some heavy spraying.
Well, that was the fogs, because we were in both.
We were in the fog. You guys just see the health ranger put out that info about the fog?
Well, he did testing on, if you guys found that, if you go to Mike Adams, the health ranger, and go to Natural News, you can find he did a study Dr. Jane Ruby had something on. She has like a little greenhouse covers over her plants outside, and so they took samples because they look kind of crazy, and all the stuff that they found was like, whoa, some really crazy stuff. And then a lot of it was like blue, and like a lot of the stuff in nature you don't see. So there's some crazy experimentation going out there in the sky.
They openly admitted 32 states have now are passing or are on the way to passing legislation banning the stuff, which doesn't matter because it's federal airspace. They all know what's going on. Kennedy Jr. talks about it. Donald J. Trump threw a couple of little nods about it, here and there with this little sly talk. So everybody knows what's going on, but they can't do anything about it. Don't you guys find it weird? I mean, we're 4 months in, 5 months in now. Where's Bondi? We got nothings. Bondi is a joke. She's on Fox News and all these shows more than she's actually doing job or hauling in people. We don't have any Epstein lists. Nothing's promised. There's nothing's kept. Got a bunch of executive orders going, right? Where's Cash Patel and the FBI stuff, right? He had all this proof and stuff. He was going to go after these folks. Now he's in there and what's he doing? What's going on here?
Krabby wants to know, do you need to burp your garlic and honey? First 2 weeks for sure, otherwise you're going to have a big burpy mess of honey. So yeah, definitely you have to burp it for a couple.
A lot of people in the comment section talking about how they've been not feeling well and it's been hanging around for a long time. A lot of people in the comment section talking about how they're noticing all the chemtrails in the sky. They're looking up, they're paying attention. Some people are even writing this stuff down and they're noticing that some days they're spraying and on days during the busiest part of the week and everything when everyone's flying too, but they don't see any lines in the sky.
Go to your alderman meetings. I think the more the people just keep getting out there, you know what?
This is crimes against humanity.
People need to get out over the overpasses and talk about chemtrails.
Yeah, instead of some stupid lies about Social Security that isn't even happening. This hands-off Social Security, we were driving on the car and all these people were on the overpass and we were like, what are they protesting? Yeah. What's going on? Do we want to stand behind it? And it's this hands-off thing. And they don't even know what, these are all paid protesters.
Everyone has to breathe. So I think we
paid
need to all get
protesters. How come the Republicans can't pay protesters? I'll pay protesters if we can get out there and protest against this stuff. Because this stuff really matters. Yeah. Transhumanism is no joke.
And then Jennifer's talking about, because Joann Fabrics is going out of business, so that's
Joann Fabrics is not going out of business.
Not?
They are 97% profitable. What's happening with Joann Fabrics is that BlackRock and all the big time companies are putting the squeeze on them because Joann Fabrics and all these companies go out and get adjustable rate loans from these big dogs, right? Then the Fed raises up the price on the loans, which everybody got caught with their pants down during COVID. All these big real estate moguls too, because they always float these free money loans with 0% interest. And now Joann Fabrics is caught up in that because they're going to squeeze her little business right out of business. That's what's I can do a video about it. Let me know if you want to do a video about it. I got a gal who was bit by that same bug who owned a little jamboree workout thing for the kids.
I was going to open. I want to do that.
They closed that whole franchise, ran them out of the way. She was the longest holdout in franchise history. They couldn't close her. She wouldn't go for it. And she tells the whole story, and then she was so upset by all this stuff that she started digging into this thing, and she found out how they do it. And that's what they do. They go in, they buy up the place, they sell out all the stuff, they make it look good on the books, they gut the whole thing, and then they sell it off for a profit. And that's happening more and more and more because of the adjustable rate loans. And that's why Trump's got to blow up the stock market. We got to get the bonds, being able to get the bonds so people buy the bonds.
But Joann Fabrics is going out of business.
Oh, yeah. 97% profitable. And they're going out of business, and that's why. It's because of the big dogs. That's why you're going to own nothing and be happy, y'all. They have all these systems in place, and they're doing them right now. And you think to yourself, why did Bed Bath & Beyond go out of business? Why do all these places go out of Hooters? Why is Hooters having so much trouble, right? That's why. Because they get in bed with these big private equity firms, and then they take out these loans, and then now they're jamming them with the loans because they got the interest rates raised up because, the Federal Reserve has nothing to do with the federal government. And then that's what it is. It's a squeeze on the small business, right? Because small business is the backbone of America. But if you're not paying attention to this stuff, if you don't know how this stuff works, you're just thinking it's just a bad economy. And it's not. So there you go, man. We kind of got derailed there for a little bit, but if you want to see a video on that, let me know in the comments section.
I do. I want to.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I was going to do it, but I didn't think anybody would really, jive with it because they don't teach you about finance in school and they don't really talk about finance, and it's all for this reason, is to keep you dumb, stupid, and poor and sick, and then that way, they could just take advantage of you from cradle to the grave and then get you out of here.
So Brian wants to know, you're supposed to tell them the reason for April Fool's Day.
So April Fool's Day was
This is
because, see, now, don't you guys wonder why tax day is April 15th? Why they suck the life out of you right as spring is rolling in? And that used to be the beginning of the new year. We don't know what year it is, actually. It's not 2025, y'all. Honest to goodness, it's not the year of our Lord, 2025. It's not. And they've jacked with the time so much. I have another book. It's at home. I'm going to do a couple videos about some books too, but I have a book at home talks about it. But the actual first day of the year, the new year, was in April
1st.
March.
It was April 1st.
No.
It got changed in 1592.
Yeah, it was April 1st. So what happened was a lot of people weren't going on with it, with the December rollout, okay? Because they switched it. It was April 1st, and then they switched it over to December 30th.
Yeah,
31st. That kind of a thing. And so the people were like, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. And so the bullying pressure back in the day was calling them April Fools,
because
you're a fool because you won't go along with the program.
Right. Like wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. Right. Same kind of thing. You're one of those people.
Yeah. So that's all about shaming, y'all. How about that?
Yep.
All right, in case you didn't know, too, to get rid of the spike proteins, y'all eat a lot of eggs. Try to get the best organic sun-raised eggs you can get out there. All right. Also, dandelion tea ours has the root in it as well.
Root in the leaf.
So it really helps you out. So if you drink dandelion tea, it's very good for you too. Plus, our mullein tea is actually good for your respiratory health, and you're going to be needing that a lot too. So all the teas that Stacy and I put together for you guys are all medicinal. And then we have 100% beeswax candles that actually purify your air. You guys need to pull out all the ammunition, all the guns on your health and nutrition if you want to live a good quality of life. You can't just stumble through the stuff anymore, right? Those days are over because they're going into overdrive. So here's the link if you want to get some medicinal teas or some candles. Or we also have stitches. Our herbal stitches is a blend of herbal, dried, herbs, okay, that are in powdered form now. And if you get a cut and you put this stuff on there, it's a dry pack. This is great for your first aid kit and for your emergency
we carry
preps.
it in your car. We carry
it
it in
in the
our car,
RV,
in the RV, in our house, in my backpack.
You dry pack it in there, boom, leave it alone. Put it in there the next day if it needs a little bit more, and then it just starts healing that wound so fast.
Because a lot of times you'll get I cook all the time and I'm using a knife, so you know how you'll slice your finger.
She does that a lot.
And you have to, bend your finger and then it keeps, not healing. So I'll pack that in there all the time and then I'll wrap it with a Band-Aid, and it's the quickest thing that's ever healed it. It's just amazing. So we have lots of testimonies on it.
Yeah, Jennifer right there. Jennifer J says the herbal stitches are the bomb, and thank you for keeping on making it. We really enjoy it. I use the heck out of it. All of our friends do. If you're a homesteader, live off grid, or use your hands or work with anything that could cut you or anything, you need to have this around. And it's all 100% herbs. It's our proprietary blend, and we ship it right out to you. It's in a glass bottle. It's very nice.
I love everyone here. See, Fuzzfort8 says, bring back fur clothing. I know. I love fur clothing, too.
That's why they didn't want you to like the fur clothing, and they got you feeling bad about the fur clothing because it's natural.
And then True
Y'all, that's why they took the copper out of your house and put the plastic pipes in there. Because the copper is... Should I read them about the copper?
No, we don't want to hear it.
Copper is good for you. We do sell copper mugs at the link I'm providing for you. And they are really good. They help you with digestion. They help you build melatonin in your skins and stuff. So that's really good too. But that's why you don't have copper pipes anymore. Okay? Think about all the ways the old folks did it and why they've been circumvented and taken control of.
So, yeah, like True Talk says, put your rubber soles back on. That's right. They had rubber soles on shoes too. There was leather shoes. Maple House is leather shoes. They never had toenail fungus. You know, I mean, look at all this. Then a lot of times with the rubbery shoes, your feet smell.
They had leather shoes.
Yeah, leather. You know, you can wear leather shoes. You don't have to wear.
And they were still
socks.
grounding, right? Leather soles. So you're still grounding because leather is a skin, right? They put concrete all around you. They put you in the high rises. I got a farm buddy that moved off to the high rise, and I feel it breaks my heart because I know he doesn't have any dirt underneath his feet. He lives in the high rise. He has not touched the dirt in years now that he's been there. And he was a farm boy. Imagine the disconnect.
Yep. So, I mean, and then also, you know, we always talk about it. You need to be grounded with the earth. We also I read this other study too. You guys ask us all the time, what do you think about the grounding sheets and all the grounding stuff that you plug in?
I told you I don't like them.
No, and then there was a whole thing about it.
She read it on the way here.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't remember where it was.
Just tell them what it said, though.
Well, just basically,
the gist of it.
It's not natural. I mean, we are just meant to be one with it. And then
you're getting an AC current when our bodies are made for DC, direct current.
Yes.
Okay? AC current is man-made current. We can't use man-made stuff to connect with the Most High and His creations.
And the thing is a lot of people are using these grounding mats or grounding sheets. And let's say you're living in an apartment complex, you know, and there's all these things and all these people have all this stuff plugged in and all that kind of stuff. So yes, it's not natural because like he said, it's more AC, not the DC. So yeah. We're all into the nature. Anybody can take off their shoes.
You can solder copper with nickel. You don't have to use lead, and the lead's not actually inside the pipe. It's just the joints. Yep. And the lead paint too. Why do you think they got rid of the lead paint as they're rolling out the 5G?
It blocks out the EMFs.
You guys, everything is a long game. They've got this stuff so far out in advance. So far. That's why social media came out. Why do you think social media came out so you could sit on there all day long on your mom's couch or whatever you do and play on social media for free? Why do you think that is? Because all this social media is feeding the AI. And they got their little timelines and they know their little things they're doing. This is all part of it. That's why they started paying for us people here on YouTube to put up videos. Because they knew they were going to feed the AI with all this information. And so they had to entice us. I was already posting videos before they ever decided to pay a dime. I was posting them for free and still would. But that's why they started paying, to entice. You ever think about that? We're the only people, right? We're going to straight up fund and build our own incarceration and death. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Oh my word. We are doing it, y'all. We are building the systems and doing everything to encage ourselves. We got to stop this nonsense.
And then we're talking, you know, about the clothes, you know, polyester clothes or anything, you know, all that tight stuff on your skin. You know, your skin needs to be able to breathe. You need to wear, you know, loose fitting clothing. Luckily, a lot of styles now, a lot of them are baggier. And then I did see, which was really cool, you know, the jeans, a lot of the jeans, they put the lycra in there. They'll put the polyester, the recycled plastic bottles they put in the jeans now. I am seeing again that they are making in their advertising, it's made just with real like cotton and there's none of this recycled stuff in it. And I thought, how cool was that? So you're able to find more, you know, clothing like that. Because I think if people get more vocal about these things, they'll start producing things that are more healthful for ourselves and our bodies, you know, these natural type fibers. But also look at, you know, you're getting a lot of these PFAS and these things that are causing hormone disruption, thyroid problems, cancers and stuff. Don't please be eating the microwave popcorn. Okay? Don't
y'all, if you're eating if you are using a microwave, get off this channel right now. Just click off, unsubscribe, go find some other people, right? Because we cannot be a part of this anymore.
And then here,
stop using the microwave.
A lot of people don't use that.
Do not use it. Throw it away. Get it out. We got this RV, right? And the first one too. The first RV that we got when we started doing the RV thing because we wanted to see you guys and travel around a little bit. We had a microwave. The very first thing we did, I snatched that thing out of there.
Well, we know microwave.
And we used it for storage. And then when I traded it in, I gave it to him without a microwave.
I just use it for shelving.
We don't even do it. Take it out. Get rid of it.
And then here's another thing. A lot of the stuff people don't think about. You know, you go to the coffee place and you get your coffee in that, you know, plasticky cup and all that. Or you go and you get the styrofoam at the takeout places, at the restaurants.
Right, Kim? Microwave, right? And it's all the crave. What's wrong with us, man?
I mean, come on. Convenience is killing us. So we need to kind of...
Hey, honey, look at this new microwave. It says it can heat your food up in so fast of a time.
So if you think about... I'll talk about microwave real
Millions
quick.
sold.
So I guess back in the 70s, when these first came out, Russia totally outlawed them because they knew how bad they were. Basically, it's going to change the whole molecular structure of the food, number one. You know, and make it all go crazy. And then you're heating it up. I mean, it's just terrible for you. And microwave, you know, you're getting that type of radiation.
It's military grade stuff, just like 5, 6, 7G. You can go look this stuff up. And tell me your phone's working better since they rolled out 5G right at the beginning of COVID. Wink, wink, wink. All right. Wool, cotton, hemp, linen, leather,
Oh, I
silk.
forgot hemp. Yes, hemp.
We all
hemp.
need to be given
Hemp
to us by
clothing
the
is
Most
great.
High. That's
Yes,
right.
yes.
We're the only industrialized nation in the world that doesn't utilize hemp, y'all. What is going on with that? These tree huggers are out there about the trees and all this stuff. We could grow hemp. It renews automatically, produces its own seeds, right? It's made. We used to use it back in the day, the old
A
pioneers.
lot of Mennonites are starting.
Mennonites
hemp
are
farms
growing
now.
it. They are, but they make rope, clothes, paper,
And it's strong. Lasts a long time.
books. I mean, so much stuff they made out of hemp.
So here, listen to this. You know,
Houses.
we're talking about this. I don't even know why I couldn't believe I didn't talk about hemp. Hemp, you support a lot of these local. There's a lot of these little small stores and companies that you can find that are making these clothes. They have sales. Look and find out when they have sales, and maybe start adding a little piece here and a piece there. The one thing I will say with hemp and with linen and wool and things like that, when you wear them, you don't smell. You know, the smell, like wool socks and things like that, you don't. So a lot of these things you can wear a couple days or 2 or 3 days or, you know, 4 days, 5 days, who knows. But just look at some of this. If you get a good quality item, it will last a lot. And then you can get other things to maybe go with it.
Okay. Riviera, okay? If your friend has some chemotherapy, so his skin on his leg is opened up, and you want to know if you can use the stitches on that, okay? I wouldn't really recommend the stitches on that, but I probably would recommend some bentonite clay, okay?
Well, honestly, if you have something going on with the wound, I might even look into getting some higher grade Manuka honey.
Manuka honey is really
Manuka
good too.
honey works really
Yes.
well on open sores. There's a
The
lot.
higher the number you can find, the better it is.
Do your research
Yeah.
on it. Look it up and say with like open sores and things like that. And Manuka honey.
Manuka honey is awesome.
And Manuka honey is very, very helpful.
And
with
so is
that.
the bentonite
Wow.
clay. And the stitches as well. Like, I'd love to sell you some stitches, but I think in this instance, I'd go to the Manuka honey first, the highest number you can get, and then put that on there. It's antibacterial. There's nothing that's going to be going on bad for him with that. And you'll see some good improvements on that with that. But then you can circle back around and get some stitches
But
for
also-
just in
yeah.
case later.
But always look, do your research on any of the stuff we're talking about. Okay, this is just stuff that's worked for us.
No, the Manuka honey's not on our website. You can just type it in, or Amazon, or if you go to some of your local health food stores and stuff, they have it. But that's Manuka honey, okay? And they come with numbers. So you want, like, 13, 20, the
So,
higher the number you can
The
get.
UMF factor can be you want it higher than normally you can get it like a 10, but I would try to go higher if you can, like 15. And the higher you get for skin issues, it's pretty good. But if that's all you can find, then I would try that and see.
Yeah, we started off the show talking about how it's been raining from St. Louis, Missouri, all the way to Hilton Head, South Carolina, y'all. All those miles, 3 days of traveling, all I saw out of the window was rain. And it's raining here right now as well, okay? None of the weather that you're seeing is, you know, normal, okay? Even though it is kind of springtime, but they're using the weather. They've weaponized it just like they've done everything. And they're using that against us to take us out and to affect our lives, man. I know this is hard to believe. If you guys just got here, you could rewind about 5 minutes or so. And I just showed one of the gals who was working in the military who tried to blow the whistle on this stuff. Of course, she's been ran out and ridiculed, but she's still trying to blow the whistle on this stuff. And we have many other instances on people trying to blow the whistle or trying to bring awareness to the chemtrails, okay? Then we started talking about fabric and your body. Your skin's your largest organ, and you don't want to put a lot of stuff on your skin. Don't be using these sunscreens this summer, y'all. All this stuff is just sick to your body. You put that stuff on because they got you scared of the sun. The sun is your friend. The sun helps make you well. They used to have hospitals and wheel everybody out onto the deck and into the yard so they could have sun therapy.
But just don't, if you're used to having sunscreen all the time, you just can't go out all day long because you'll get fried.
Well,
they talk about a solar
it's common
palace.
sense. I know the common sense is lacking.
Yeah. So just know, getting early morning light, you're not going to get any rays that are going to burn you. Getting out for a while, then as the sun goes down, you're going to be good there. Get out for a few minutes in the middle of the day. You know what I mean? And every day,
That's
add
right.
a little bit
Mandy
more.
says it good, right? Mandy says skin cancer went up when sunscreen came
It
out.
did.
That's a fact.
Yeah, totally.
Go look it up. Don't believe nothing that we say.
Sunscreen is the cause of cancer. Yep.
Y'all put on some, like the Amish or like the people do, or like you look at the Arabs, right? I mean, put on some clothes. Do not put on the chemicals.
Yeah.
And don't lather your kids
Cover up.
up with the chemicals. Their soft little baby skin is just being contaminated
I know.
every day.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Carnivores don't sunburn.
And then also you talk about you can make homemade sunscreen. You can get online and there's homemade that you can put a little tallow in there, some zinc oxide. You can make homemade sunscreens. Or just wear
Coconut oil.
You can get like little linen, like
Beef tallow is awesome.
hoodie, like just like shirts, cover up.
All right, we're gonna have to kick on the air now.
It was like 90 degrees here today.
Yeah, and raining.
And then that rest of the week it's gonna get colder.
Y'all, we had the hot weather. Now tonight it's a frost freeze advisory. That's one way you take out the fruit producing plants is you get them all jizzed up and warm. You drown them out, then you dry them out, and then you zap them with the cold. So there's going to be a lot of struggling right now with folks in their cold weather because a lot of the trees are starting to bud their flowers and stuff. So we'll keep an eye on that for you guys. And as the year goes on, we'll see how that affects us, if it does at all. All right, man, this was a good live show tonight. On the fly, 15 minutes late. Do you know of a cure of tinnitus? One of the first things I do is unplug everything in the house.
I have not heard that is that is up there. Everyone is talking about tinnitus. You'd hear a couple people here and there get it over the years, and then every year I keep hearing more and more and more. And I truly believe a big problem of a lot of people having the tinnitus is, do you have a tower near you? Do you have a lot of stuff plugged in?
Turn off your Wi-Fi. Turn off your router at night, or when you're not using it, just don't leave it on all the time.
And then also
And
grounding.
see if you notice.
Take your shoes off. Go outside. Like, what I'm going to do after we're done here, it's raining and there's concrete out there. I'm going to go out, walk barefoot because, when you ground yourself, when you get your barefoot connected to the earth, especially with rain, the rain or with water, like if you're on the beach, that's wonderful. The sand, the dirt, the grass, concrete is also considered that it's grounding. So I go outside a lot, even when it's cold out. When it was freezing cold, I'll walk outside, and walk for a little bit or stand, breathe a little bit and ground yourself a little bit and do some of these things consistently and see if that doesn't help a little bit. All right, a lot of people ask, like Susie's asking, where can you get 100% leather shoes? You can go to some of these, you know, a lot of these companies that make a lot of the European shoes, you know, like the Birkenstocks, a lot of them that have some of these shoes that are from other countries. They do have all leather shoes, but you can Google it, or you can even find, there are local people, what do you call them? What do you call them that make shoes? Cobblers. There still are cobblers around that will make shoes. You will like put your foot, and you can find them online too. And I've gone to different, you know, like fairs and things like that. You just put your foot down on a piece of paper, and then they draw the outline of your foot, and they'll make a shoe for you, like all leather shoe. And you're seeing a lot more of these trades. And for some of you young people, you know, if you want to start getting into some of these trades, I truly believe that all this stuff, like becoming a tailor, making linen clothes. Do you know how much money if you started a linen clothing company, you know, you could start making shoes. I mean, look at all these lost arts that people, you know, these trades from a long time ago. I think all this stuff is going to be coming back because people are going to be thirsty for it all. Yep. Yeah, go rolling in the dirt. Hug a tree. It's all good.
Our bees are doing really good so far, but you know, now we got this cold snap coming, and you know, we had some hot, cold, but so far I see them buzzing around. The propolis is thick on their entrance, and they are sending out some scots and kind of clean it out. That was the latest, and then we'll know when we get home exactly what's going on after the cold snap. We have lost them in the spring before many times, where they look like they're fine, they come out of winter just fine, then boom, she gone. All right, and you guys don't forget, we have the Homesteading Live Conference coming up. It's only like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how close it is. Let me see here. It's May 16th and 17th. Hold on.
It'll be here before you know it.
I mean, that's no joke. Where's it at now? Look at my little counter here. We got a counter on here. So get more info, and we are like 38 days away. Golly, y'all. 38 days, 11 hours, 45 minutes for the hottest.
Oh, I have an announcement about the conference.
Homesteading conference in North America.
We will have at our conference a whole structuring station for structured water. So
that's really cool.
Yes, so you guys can come and refill and get structured water at the conference. Thanks.
And then you can check out the difference,
friends.
like if you can notice the difference.
Yeah.
We're going to have a structured water station where the water is going to be filtered, purified, rolled through everything, and then it's going to be swirled around and dropped into your receptacle structure.
Yes, and then we also have a class.
We'll get some Redmond salt too, so you can drop a few sprinkles in there.
Yeah, and Tia Murphy's going to be doing a whole class on structured water, and she's got a lot of really good classes she's going to be talking about. Really, really good stuff. And I'll be having the whole schedule if you guys want to look at it.
Yeah, when's that?
Soon.
You should be working on that while we're
Yeah. And I'll have the schedule will be up soon.
Dr. Leo will be there talking about how to raise bees organically, how to catch swarms, how to get away from big pharma bee treatments. Okay. We got Dr. Jones there, all about herbal remedies, how to take care of yourself and your animals. We got his wife and his other buddies they're all coming to teach you how to have babies at home, emergency care, all these things we used to know and take care of ourselves and do, right? Like they didn't have hospitals everywhere. They had one doctor, took care of the whole town and the animals. Now they got a whole town of doctors to take care of you, and they don't know nothing about your animals.
Yeah, solar power. Zach Bauer's talking about solar power, about how to have organized homestead. We're going to talk about goats. We're going to talk about chickens. We're going to talk about turkeys.
We're going to be butchering chickens. We're going to be butchering rabbits.
Gardening with so-right seeds.
We're going to have a wood cook stove there. We're going to live demonstrate how to operate a wood cook stove.
Learning how to ferment. Learning how to do lots of stuff. I'm going to do a lot of hands-on classes, like how to do this and how to do this, anything like making things, just lots of littler things that I didn't do last year. I did some, but I'm going to do a lot more in there, kind of intertwine them throughout the whole day. We are
wow. Dang, that Lonnie, that was kind of heavy there, Lonnie. Lonnie said, I'm not going to give up. I just want to say thank you and I love you guys. You saved myself and my wife and my 2 daughters' lives. I could never repay you for what you have done. Ooh, man, that's heavy right there, man. Well, I'm glad we could help. We're just trying to share what we've learned on our own journey.
And you know what? It's what the sick thing is. It's just like, you look how quick we lose it in a couple generations. Like, a lot of people were doing
so
all this
fast.
stuff. Yeah. So we just got to keep this knowledge going because it's been around.
The green in the jar on the website is the matcha. We have ceremonial grade matcha tea. Stacy loves it. Tell them some of the benefits of the matcha tea.
Just think, okay, green is like chlorophyll. It's full of life. And so it's very, very powerful. It has very high, like, antioxidants. So it's very powerful for the body. And it tastes kind of greeny, kind of, it's a little earthy tasting, but I like it iced. So what you can do is, and I do it, you can whisk it and get really fancy. You know, the way they used to do it over in Japan is they would whisk it, froth it up. People would drink it more, or, you know, hot. And it's, for me, it's okay hot, and it is good, and I'll drink it hot sometimes, but I really do like it iced. It's like a nice, refreshing treat. And what I'll do is I'll mix it up. And for me, I do it lazy. I put mine in a mason jar and just shake it up. And then I'll put a little honey in there and put it over ice, and it tastes great. And sometimes I might put some raw milk in it, and it's like a latte. I'll do that sometimes too. But it's excellent. And it does give you really great energy. It wakes you up, and you focus. If you need to be talking about something or taking a test or doing something, it'll make you spot on where you need to be. It's really, really good. It makes you totally focused. And I just love it. And the thing that's so cool about it, it comes in that little container. You only need, like half of a teaspoon. It's very, very powerful. So I love the matcha. It's wonderful.
Ceremonial grade, highest quality ingredients we can get. All of our stuff is organic. Our mullein tea that's good for your respiratory health and your lungs is actually wild crafted and even hand picked, y'all. We are doing the best service here is to just try to load you guys up with all these medicinal things that help you detox your body, help you fight the stuff they're throwing at you. That's our only goal here. This is the stuff we use, and now we found a way to share it with you.
Yeah, Ash Manji, they said paper plates, plastic silverware. So here, a lot of times I've noticed over the years how many people buy paper plates because nobody wants to wash the dishes anymore because people are getting lazier and lazier. And so I'm thinking, you're putting hot food on that. That's got bleach, chlorine, who knows what those things are made out of. Same thing. So once in a while, we'll do paper plates, but I've gotten to the point where I hardly ever do the paper plates anymore at all, and definitely don't do the plastic stuff anymore. I always do your stainless steel forks or spoons or knives. Sometimes it can be a pain, but I've gotten to the point where, my health is much more important now, and I'm going that extra step. So I've kind of booted all that, and I hardly ever use paper plates anymore. And definitely, I don't do any plastic stuff.
So,
unless, once, a couple times a year, maybe we'll do it. Like if we're having a function or something like that. So,
Chipman, some of the best stuff you can do for asthma that we're talking about basically is try the mullein tea. And then also get yourself a candle, because the candle is 100% beeswax with 100% cotton wick, and it actually helps purify your air, so it could help cut down on asthma attacks. And you can look this stuff up for yourself.
Yeah, just with that, a lot of people have let us know, and people that we know have done very well with the mullein. Very helpful. And do your research, look up mullein and read about what it's good for, and it will tell you.
Okay, so someone asked if we were going to tape the conference, and no, we won't be taping it, but for the university folks, if you guys are in our university.offgridwithdouganstacy.com, then we will try to tape a couple of classes for you guys, but Stacy and I are very hands-on. We don't hire a bunch of people to do this stuff for us, so we're totally involved with this whole event, and we're there talking and organizing and speaking and all, helping and everything, so it's really hard for me to film all that stuff. But for the university, I probably will have some available.
And then someone was asking about, is merino wool okay? Yes. The one great thing about merino wool is it doesn't itch. A lot of people are like, oh, it itches so much. Merino wool doesn't. You can find merino wool in like the tights, like long johns or tights the girls wear. So they make them out of merino wool, which is a healthier. So, you know, a lot of people are really liking the tights, but you can get better versions. Like there's a company, Pact, P-A-C-T, and they have organic underwear and like the tights and different clothes, little t-shirts and stuff. The merino wool, you can get alpaca, but actually the merino wool ones are really nice because you can get the tights, and they also have merino wool underwear. So you can check into that too.
Man, oh man, this is lit tonight. We're talking about it. We're talking about the chemtrails. We're talking about your health and your nutrition. We're talking about the clothes that you wear and how it's making you sick. All these things, I'm definitely convinced that the whole system is rigged against us to keep us in the arms of big pharma, okay? And so they can exploit you all the way through your life. All you are is a meal ticket, and they go through the insurance and the Medicare. That's why they want you on the Medicare. That's why they want the government-funded health care, so they can run you through it, play the money swap game, and then throw you in the hole or burn you up in the furnace, right? Because that's what the whole goal is, okay? Is to take you out. It's population control. They openly admit it all of the time.
Well, and then also too, you know, we were talking about the, you know, wearing the polyester and all the different things. The other thing you also look at for with those PFAS that are causing like hormonal disruption is look at what you're cooking with. We talk about it a lot. You know, no non-stick cookware. I can't believe you go into these places and you see all this non-stick cookware everywhere. I wouldn't even trust a lot of this enamel. They say it's non-stick, you know, unless you really know I don't know, there might be a couple things that might be okay, but I would stay away from all that. I mean, if you're having glass, stoneware, cast iron, stainless steel, you know, all these things are going to be a better, you know, option. Okay. I'm just trying to think. What was it? What, did I forget one?
Anil Chang, first of all, fossil fuels is a lie. Okay? It's no such thing as fossil fuels. They actually coined that term to create a scarcity mindset in your brain. Okay? Because actually, the oil in the ground is the second most prolific fluid we have on Earth, right behind water. So this whole fossil fuel thing has all been a psyop, y'all. I did a video about that some time ago. The whole reason why they even called it fossil fuels was to create a scarcity mindset. It's all a lie, a scam. Yeah, the rain is here. It is raining. It has been raining from St. Louis, Missouri, all the way to Hilton Head, South Carolina. No joke, nonstop. Blowing wind, rain, downpours, light rain, heavy rain, sideways rain, water flooding, Ohio River busting at the seams, chemtrails every day leading up to it, and they wonder why so many tornadoes are floating around and why all this weather. They're calling this weather once in a generation, they said. Did you remember when they said it on the radio we were listening? Once in a generation.
It's crazy. So just check out, you know, just start making a couple little changes here and there, and you guys will be on your way. And then once you do one, then you'll do another one and another one, and then you'll start noticing, you know, when your body is able to function a little bit more easily because you're getting rid of some of these toxins out of our body, we're getting rid of some of these plastics out of our body. It's very, very helpful. So just doing these little things are very, very, very helpful.
No, I never heard of the board game Plandemic, but I mean, they tell you all this stuff right to your face every day, all the days. They tell you it's coming. They're telling you you're going to own nothing and be happy, and you're going to eat the bugs. You think they're playing? I was just thinking about this the other day, y'all. The internet came out in 1998. It's taken them 20-something years to get this far.
Well, it's quicker now.
It's going to be quicker now because it's already here, but look how it takes a while to move this ship. They've been trying this stuff, you know, World War I, World War II, All these fake wars are resets. Now you guys are hip into it, so now you're seeing the patterns. And that's why we got to go into World War III for the reset, because everybody's broke. Everybody's printing money like for free. Okay? All the balance sheet. This is all about balance sheets. This is all about money. This is all about all that stuff, right? You're just cattle. You're just a slash on the reconcile sheet. That's what the stock market's taking a hit, right? They want to scare everybody on the stock market. It's got to have a correction. Everybody knows the stuff's inflated and bogus, and the real estate, but I don't know if America has the stomach for it. Do you think we have the stomach for it? Do you think everybody will just watch their savings vaporize? They didn't care if it was inflation, right? They didn't care. How did they pass the omnibus spending bill without one Republican vote? And the Republicans have the House and the Senate and the presidency and can't pass shit. Oops.
Oh, shame on you.
What? How do they do that? I am sitting here dumbfounded as every day passes. How does that actually happen? Y'all. Ooh. Joann's Fabrics, 97% profitable, going out of business.
They all want you to do a video on it.
I know, I'm going to do the video about it, but I'm telling you, it's the private equity firms are closing the doors on these people with these hokey-pokey loans. And that's how they're gutting the small business people, okay? And they already said way back that there's going to be a ton of white-collar layoffs. Well, who do you think all those government employees are? Those are white-collar people. And all the other people that are getting laid off are white-collar jobs. And this promise of factories coming and opening up here is a pipe dream. Because even if they come here and invest in our country and bring those jobs here, it's going to be manned with robots. You can bet your butt that it is going to be loaded up with 21st century new robots. Okay? Doing all the work. Oh my gosh, y'all. And AI is going to run the government, so losing all these people there is no big deal either. It's just very interesting.
Kathleen says, what's the difference between ceremonial matcha and regular matcha? So, ceremonial matcha is going to be your highest premium type from the finest leaves. The regular matcha, a lot of times people will use that in, like, if you're going to bake, people make desserts or put it in foods and things like that. They'll put matcha in. The ceremonial's one, you're going to be drinking and sipping, and it's a finer grain.
Yes, that's rosemary.
Oh, I love it. It is. I love it.
Y'all, we're like walking around picking people's rosemaries.
No, today.
She snagged some red buds off the tree at the rest stop. She's like, snick, snick, snick. And she comes here, she got red buds in here.
They were like, my goal was, because I love red buds let's talk about red buds. Red buds are my absolute favorite in spring. I just love them. And they're pretty long, and I got a bunch of them, and I wrapped them and put some paper towel with water, and I stuck them in our sink and squished them in there, and they made it the whole time here. And so on our whole trip we had them. But I love the rosemary. But red buds, you guys, they're beautiful. They're full of nutrition. I was telling, I think maybe a couple of live shows ago, you need to be getting your red buds. You can make red bud honey. So if you put some honey, put the red buds in there, let it set for a couple days, and then strain it through. Oh, it'll be wonderful. You can use it on your things. You can do red bud vinegar. Actually, the red bud vinegar will be amazing, because then you're going to infuse it. It'll be kind of pinkish color, and you have the nutrients from that, so you can do red bud vinegar. Just wonderful. You can make a red bud tea, put all the pretty pink petals and put some tea and maybe put some honey in it. You can make an iced tea, or you can make it into a hot tea. So, use your red buds because they're full of nutrition.
Doug, is it time to cash in gold? No. Gold and silver, these are all long games, man, unless you're ready to, have the money.
But you're not.
I don't know if I would trade, my solid, good asset, if you will, my mineral that I know, for fiat paper currency that could just, crash on you tomorrow. Like literally, you could wake up tomorrow and this could be like the Weimar Republic. Look how they crashed the stocks on Trump like that. You guys think everybody just woke up freaking out because of what he was doing and that next day? No, that's BlackRock and all those guys. That's them flooding the market, selling stocks, okay, to create the panic. So y'all go sell some stocks and then they can buy up some of your cheap stocks. And then 5 years from now, all those stocks can be making them money. That's how this hustle works. They get you scared. They crash the stock with their money. They don't care. Then they buy even more of it when it's lower. And then boom, they ride it all the way back up to the top. That's one of the oldest hustles going. Keeping the poor man poor.
And what do you have to say? This is not what kind of advice?
Oh yeah, I'm not a financial advisor. We don't do financial advice. We're not doctors. We don't play one on YouTube. This is all stuff that we've learned, tried, tested, and we're sharing results with you. So get your stitches today at offgridwithdougandstacy.com. Hit that shop tab. Hopefully we'll see you join the university where we can talk about anything and everything we want. It's our private little server group. And we do some bangers in there, boy. Man, we can really let it fly in there. University.offgridwithdougandstacy.com. What did we talk about last week? Seeds.
Oh yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, we talked really good
Oh, we
seed
talked
video.
about, yeah, we did. We got into some deep stuff with the seeds.
But we can't tell you guys because it's strictly for the university. So
Yeah.
that's pretty fun too.
Yeah, we talked about biodynamic farming with
Yeah.
the moon, and we talked about a lot of other things.
And don't forget, you guys, we have the Homesteading Live Conference where you can meet me and Stacy live and in person, ask questions, and learn how to take care of yourself. Some of the forgotten skills that they've stripped away from us in the name of consumerism and shallowism, okay? And we're having this is our 8th year of doing this thing. And we do this to help educate you guys because the brain to the hand is the most powerful learning. That's why the Rockefellers took over the schools with one person talking into the whole classroom. That's the worst way to learn. The brain to the hand is the best way to learn. And that's why we have this Homesteading Live Conference.
And you get to, the cool thing is you get to meet a lot of people that are very like-minded, just like you, that you could,
swap phone numbers
stories.
with.
Yeah,
A lot of people are like, dang, you live here, I live right there, it's like 30 minutes away, and they meet people at this event that they can go home and network with.
Or even, like, where you're living now, you may not have anybody around you that even believes the same thing that you believe, and you're going to find people that are the same mindset as you. You can talk to them on the phone, or you can email them and talk to them, and you'll meet friends. I'm going to do 2 little singles hours for people who are wanting to meet other people, possibly. We'll see if that works out. So we're going to do that too. So it should be pretty fun.
I'm 58, Stacy's 62. We don't wear glasses. We don't have contacts. We don't have a primary care physician. We don't have aspirin in our house. We don't take any big pharma drugs. When we get a little off, we take care of it ourselves. And it's been that way for the last, 18, 19 years. When the system was failing us, she couldn't figure out why she was sick, and then we had to figure it out for ourselves, and it actually worked. And we actually made videos about it, and we actually document and talk about it, and we try to teach all this stuff to you guys, okay? The system is there to keep you down. I'm 96. Well, you're rocking it, JS.
Yeah.
Good for you. If you come to the conference, I'll let you in for free. You just show up at the gate, say, I'm 96, my name's JS, and Doug said I could get in for free, and I'll let you in. Type in raw dog food off-grid Doug, and you'll see how we make it for our puppies and how we made it for our dogs, and we still feed them that way today.
Well, that video, I have a different, did I make one the way I feed her now? That might have been an old
2.
one.
We did 2. We did chicken and we did hamburger.
I know, but the new one, I have this in my recipe book. I think, what book did I put in? My Remedies book on animals.
Yeah, in the Remedies book, you guys can get it.
I have a better
shop
recipe
tab.
now that I do.
Stacy actually wrote a remedy book too, y'all, with all of our secrets and tips. Over 100 remedies that you can just whip out, look up, and then attack your problem with. Okay, I'll put a link right here. Here is the remedy book.
All right, so we're talking about eye health. So Your eyes like nutrition. They like good foods. You may notice your eyes, everyone will agree, your eyes, sometimes you can see better than other times. So, of course, you have a lot of muscles, your eyes get strained. You know, just blinking really fast like this and then kind of opening them and refocusing is good to help with your straining of your eyes. If you're on the computer a lot, that's why a lot of people are having problems with their eyesight, because they're locked into the computer. If you're on the computer, I would say, you know, every, you know, at least 30 minutes, 45 minutes, get up, go outside. You need to look out in nature, because that's going to help your eyes readjust. So that would be something that I would do. If you're in an office, I would go look outside, open the door, look out and get out, because that'll really help those little muscles. But eating, you know, lots of good fruits and vegetables, eating, you know, whole foods, no a lot of fried foods. You want to stop the seed oils. All those things are damaging the eye health too. And then
your computer screens are damaging it.
It's terrible. Yeah, the blue lights and all that from the computer. So the other thing is really good is doing exercises. I mean, literally exercises are so, you might look goofy doing them, but they're very, very helpful. You know, I do them all the time. But like, you know, you can look forward and just think of a clock, and then, you know, you're looking, you know, go to 12 o'clock, and then you might want to go to 9 o'clock, and then you might want to go to 6 o'clock, and you might want to go to 3 o'clock, and then all the way up, and then roll your eyes around.
They actually have glasses too with little lines in them. You guys should
like
look up the glasses
like
that help strengthen your eyes.
Yeah, so they have little holes in them, and then kind of look like a fly, and then you could look at certain things and focus on something through like this hole and this hole, and it'll work all those little intrinsic muscles in your eyes. And then also, here's a great, you can look up, get a book, it's called The Bates, B-A-T-E-S, Bates, the Bates method, and he's got lots of, you know, there's like swaying and different things you can do that help the muscles in your eyes. And a lot of people who've worn glasses have gotten off the glasses, because why is it when you wear glasses, you have to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger?
Stronger glasses, prescriptions.
You're making them weaker,
right,
too, for a lot of this. So if you think...
Y'all, the glasses person, the dentist, your doctor, they're all big pharma shills, and they don't know how to fix you. They only just produce what they sell. Don't you guys know? And
just know certain, you know, there's certain eye problems that are going to, you know, that this isn't going to fix. But a large majority of people can be fixed, those muscles in their eyes, by doing these exercises. There's also a lot of these different therapists that work with the muscles and do things a lot more holistically with people that have different problems with their eyes. So a lot of these things have definitely helped. And I mean, I'll just tell you, when I was growing up, my mom worked for an ophthalmologist. So I just thought, oh, it'll be cool. You know, my mom had glasses. I'm going to go get glasses. You know, they'll help me keep check my eyes. And he says, well, they're okay, but if you want to wear glasses, they'll make your eyesight, it'll be easier for you to see. And so I would get glasses, you know, when I was like 20 something years old, and I was wearing them. I didn't really like, you know, they kind of gave me a headache, but I just thought, well, okay, I'd wear them a little bit, and then you go back, oh, you need to wear them and get a stronger one. And then over the years, you know, I just kind of learned more, and I was more into like fitness and your muscles, and so I learned a lot about the eyes, and I'm like, I don't need these. So I found my eyes really have been pretty good, you know, and I do these exercises. I move a lot. Jumping on the rebounder, I talk about how good that is for your lymphatic system. It's for your pelvic floor. It's good for your overall health. It works your cardiovascular, you know, for your cardiorespiratory health. But the rebounding is really good for your eyes too, because I can focus on something while I'm bouncing, and it's really good for my eyes. So that would be another good one.
Y'all, rebounding is also good for your lymphatic system. We're hunters and gatherers, and all you're doing is sitting. You sit in the car to go to work. You sit at your desk all day. You go home and sit around and watch the TV. We got to be outside moving. They call your calves your second heart for a reason. So if you're losing all your leg strength and muscles and everything, you're not pumping that blood like you should be. They call your gut your second brain for a reason. If you want to know why you're sick, look at your stomach. Figure out what's going on in there. Do you take a lot of antibiotics? Do you eat a lot of processed food? Right? You drink a lot of soda, Mountain Dew, Pepsi. Are you onto the diet sodas because you think that's good for you? That stuff is killing your gut.
You know what? A lot of people are like, oh, I just have to have one every, you know, 3 days. I have 3 times a week or something. You know, that stuff over time, it's just toxic for your body. Start making these little changes, finding out some of these drinks, making like the, the new tea that we're getting ready to launch at the store.
Ooh, this new tea is lit.
It is.
We've been doing samples.
Oh my gosh,
Gave it
it's
to
so
a couple
good.
people to try,
Everyone loves
and they
it.
are like,
The young kids love it. The old people love it. Everyone loves it. It's going to be, you can do it hot, but definitely it's iced tea, and it's going to be amazing. So look forward to hibiscus orange tea that will be coming very soon. And that would be something I was explaining last week in the class. Get rid of some of these bad habits you're having with your drinks that people are doing. Like the hibiscus tea it's probably one of the most underrated teas for health. It is so high in vitamin C. It's great for your, what are you laughing at? Let me finish my story.
Go on, do it, because I got one for you now. This is a good one.
So the hibiscus tea is really, really high, extremely high in vitamin C. It's great for the hydration of your skin, helping with anti-aging and helping with wrinkles and fine lines and all that, as well as great for your heart and your blood vessels and your blood pressure. So that's another one. So see, a lot of these teas you can turn into iced teas to help you. Like if you want to get rid of drinking your Lipton tea so much, maybe you can do, some dandelion tea, or you could do some mullein tea or something. That way you're getting a double whammy of good stuff.
All right, y'all. Stacy hit the big time. I know.
Why?
You got your fans know all the stuff about you, girl. They're like, "What is that watch Stacy has on?" They know you wear a black watch. Stacy's all out here on vacation, splurging on a new watch, y'all. She's the most she ever spent on one. Come on,
Okay,
tell 'em.
so I wear the same black watch. I've gotten, it was $9.99 and it went up to $10.99. I wore the same watch for 30 years.
30 years,
It's
yeah,
been
we
the same.
talked about it.
And I get it I usually buy a couple of them, and I
They're
love
like
that
Casio,
watch. No, it's not a Casio. It's just like a cheap brand.
Yeah.
So I saw, it's kind of off-white. I saw it, and it's a Casio. I'm like, it was $21. I bought it $21, but I thought for summer I'll be a little different and wear this one. But I said I'll probably go back to my old black one. But I like
she
this
loves
one
it.
too.
It's got the year on it. I've heard
just
all
like-
the stories.
Well, it's because it's just like it's got the same face as my other one, so I like it. Yeah, it'll be nice.
And what'd you say you're wearing white? What'd you say about white?
No,
You said you're wearing
no, my
white.
new
Your
color.
new thing you said.
I like all the colors,
Yeah,
the
off the
tans,
white, off
like
white,
all this. I have a
yeah.
lot like this. I'm being crazy. I have crazy color pants today, but I'm in a new phase. As your years go on, you kind of change your look. So I'm wearing more lighter
man.
colors now.
Show them
I
up
have
close, they said.
my
Show us
white
up
watch,
close.
like my Casio.
Get your Walmart special. $23.
Oh, it was $21.95.
$21.95.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh my gosh, y'all. So funny.
Yeah, because he doesn't notice anything usually about my jewelry.
I notice all
And
of
he
her
said,
stuff.
"Did
I
you
notice.
get another
I
watch?"
pay attention to detail like crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
We had stopped. It was like we were in the twilight zone getting down here, because of the storms. So we pulled into this Cracker Barrel, but it backed up. Where was that? In Georgia? Where I got my watch. So it backed up to a Cracker Barrel, and there was a Walmart, and there was like 50 truckers there, and then the Cracker Barrel was just crazy. And that was by Chattanooga.
I don't know.
It was Tennessee. It was in Tennessee. And so he was at the RV, and I needed to, run in, and I saw the watch, and I bought it on a splurge.
Raw milk could give you a little stomach ache because it's got a lot of fat and it's rich, right? It's really good for you. Okay, so if you're used to drinking dead stuff all the time and your stomach's messed up,
so
it could be that.
Or what you could even start trying to do if you make some yogurt out of raw milk yogurt and see if that is okay for you. Just to start that way, because some people, it might be a little much, or if you just drank a whole huge glass the first time, it might have been way too much. Maybe you need to start like with kombucha. I wouldn't recommend drinking a big huge bottle the first time you get kombucha because it's very detoxifying. You need to start with a little bit and build yourself up to it. Same with that. You might want to just drink a little bit, see how you react to it, and then the next day do it maybe for a week, do a little bit, and then you move up, or try it with yogurt. Like for me personally, I'll put a little, and I don't do a whole lot, but I'll put a little in my matcha. But mostly my raw milk, I make it in yogurt or kefir. So.
Joyce, you could get some help with your lungs with the mullein tea, and the link's right there for you. I even put your name on it. Just type in dandelions off-grid Doug, and Stacy has a video on like 5 things you can do with the dandelions that are popping up in your yard right now, as long as you don't put chemicals on your yard. It's a very good video, millions of views, and she goes through quite a few little recipes with you.
So here's 2 comments. So Jay Count says, what do you suggest if you already wear glasses? When you do these exercises, you'll take the glasses off and you'll do the exercises. So I would suggest get the book called The Bates Method and check that out, okay, Jay Counts? And then Maria Torres says, my eyes were fine until blue light phone. The blue light really, now...
Y'all, the blue light is on purpose put on your computer screens by Apple and Google because they know what it does to your body. You can look it up. They actually had patents. They actually have talks about it, how they were going to go with the other light, and then they didn't. They went with the blue light because they know what it does to you.
See, here.
Oh, we have our glasses.
So
we normally are wearing these now. This is our new latest thing. I haven't shared with you.
So you got your blue light glasses. This is going to block out the blue light. This is at night. They have daytime ones that are yellow, and then there's nighttime ones that are red ones. So what this is doing, like we talk about at our house, since we're off grid, I have candles on, I have lanterns on. You can get certain light bulbs that give you that red light feel, that blocks out the blue light. The blue light is really messing up with your sleep-wake cycle and everything going on. So you might want to look into getting some of these, glasses that will be very helpful for that.
They wreck your circadian rhythms, right? They mess up your whole sleep-wake cycle. That's why they did this in the casinos. That's how they learned about this stuff. If you guys go look this stuff up. It's crazy. And that's why I go back to this. I circle all the way back around. They know everything that they're doing to you. Okay? The Jews, the Zionists, they know it. I know I was supposed to say it. But they know it. Okay? And the whole thing is to take you out. Right? The 3rd leading cause of death in America are doctors. You can go look this stuff up for yourself. Okay? This is hard hitting, boy. We're just staying on here until you kick us off tonight.
No, we have to go. I gotta walk. Oh, my phone's gonna die. We have to go.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's ready. See, look.
All right. Oh man, her phone is gonna die. All right. So thanks a lot for showing up for the live show. Thanks a lot for being a member of the university. We'll see you guys Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we're going to talk about some more lit stuff that nobody can censor. Thanks a lot for showing up to the Homesteading Live Conference. We'll see you guys there in like 30-something more days. I can't believe it. It's going to be a great time. And also, we'll just see you next Monday night live right here, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on YouTube, our social media platform of choice. Oh my goodness, y'all.
So start making some simple changes that can really help your health, guys.
And actually, that's for sure. Inch by inch makes it a cinch. Yard by yard makes it hard. Don't think about all the stuff you have to do. Just start tackling little areas like clothes. Super easy. Or your diet. A little trickier, but could be done. Or your cookware. Just start making these choices. Never to suck out of a straw again, right?
Or don't eat out and get it in those styrofoam containers.
Yeah, no coffee in styrofoam containers. No Starbucks coffee mugs.
You can bring your own mug in there.
That's right. Get a copper mug from off.
You know what? If you even go to a restaurant, you can bring your own mug in. You can.
Yeah, we do it all the time.
Yeah, you can.
I roll in there with my store-bought kombucha and dare them to say something about it.
Yeah.
If she sneaks it in her purse, we just crack it out and start drinking it with our meal, right? First, a lot of times we ask them if they sell kombucha first. But other than that, we're no joke.
Yeah. So you just got to take charge of your health.
No, we don't eat grits. All right? Most capable hands on the end of your wrist. All right, we're going to run through a tour real quick because you stay till the end. That's our kitchen area right there.
Oh, it's messy.
This is our couch area right here. We got some giveaways planned for everybody who meets us at the meetup. Doug's actually been in this bathroom for the last 2 hours cleaning it up. There's my cleaning supplies. I got the full-size shower because I'm a big MFer. I'm cleaning up the floor right there because it was kind of dirty. No, I'm not telling them. So that's a pretty nice shower. There's our little bathroom. We got a little closet right here. It's a little cedar closet in there. There's all my clothes and Stacy's clothes. Very nice. So that's it pretty much. And we got our bedroom back here. You guys got the tour. I mean, there's our little bedroom. Yep. Pretty cute, right? And there's our little refrigerator. Runs off of a 12 volt. And then there's my bestest wife I could ever have. All right?
Did you tell what happened to our shower?
No, I don't want to tell him.
Well, you should tell him.
Nah, it's all right. All right, we'll see you guys on the next video. And stay vigilant out there, okay? Nobody cares about you more than you, all right? You and your family, man. It's up to you. Share the video.